Welcome back to another episode of TPC. Let's do the NFL Week 12 predictions. Let's talk about the recap of a Thursday night game with the Texans and Bills. This game pretty much was the Texans defense showing up and locking down Josh Allen, taking away literally everything. Forced 2 picks on him. Bullock did that. Forced a fumble with him too. So that game, the Texans defense showed up. Will Anderson went off in that game. Deline Hunter had a good game too. Just a big factor was the Bills' offense shot themselves in the foot, especially Josh Allen with the 2 picks, with that 2 turnovers. And this defense, man, it looks phenomenal. If this Texas defense gets in the playoffs, it is dangerous. And the Bills, they're 7-4 now. They're second in the division right now still. 2 games behind the Patriots right now, and it's not looking great. James Cook went off this game, 116 yards with that 45-yard touchdown. And Khalil Shakir went off also. But the thing is, if you take away Shakir, they don't have a weapon. I know Dalton Kincaid didn't play this game, and Keon Coleman is still just doing with his, quick suspension with the team. Not saying he's not really that player. But maybe the Bills figure it out. We've seen this before when the Dolphins were first in the division in 23, and they were 11-6. We've seen this before. Maybe the Bills figure it out with some crazy luck like that. They usually have. The Texans, though, they still have a long head of them. They still got the Chiefs, the Colts twice, the Jags. No, they don't have the Jags, okay? You got the Colts twice, okay? And you're in a good spot. You're 6-5 right now, and dude, it's right there for the taking. In your easy games, you got Cardinals, Raiders. That's simple right there. You can win the division. If it really does depend on C.J. Stroud and Woody Marks at the running back position, because Joe Mixon is out, and how the weapons can look. Maybe Tank Dell comes back later in the year. We'll see. But this offense does depend so much on C.J. Stroud's ability to win this game for them. If they don't, maybe Davis Mills comes in, because that man was 3-0 in that stretch. I'm just saying. He did beat the Bills and did beat the Jags in the crazy comeback in the game-winning field goal against the Titans. And maybe that I don't know. C.J. Stroud, you got to figure something out. You got to get a win record against the Colts next week at Colts too. So if you somehow pull out the win, maybe it'd be crazy help for you. But overall, phenomenal thing for the Texans looking ahead of them if they just make the playoffs somehow, some way. Let's enough talk about the Texans and them. Let's talk about the slate of the games pretty much. I'll go at the quick, brief ones right now. Detroit versus New York. I'm going to take Detroit this game. There's no Jackson Dart. And the Giants, they're just getting ready to draft, if anything. This is draft year for them. Building off the next year, because next year, the next coach, bro, they have a lock. They have a quarterback, running back, receiver. Everything's locked, and you got a top 5 pick, top 3 pick right now. Build for next year. Detroit, bounce back from your L against the Eagles pretty much. Get the offense rolling. I think the offense will dominate this game. Gibbs will go off. Jared Goff will have a phenomenal game. I think the Lions will bounce back in this game after the little terrible show they had against the Eagles on the road. They'll figure it out, okay? Titans versus Seahawks. I think the Seahawks should win this game. I think the offense is about to be explosive. Tennessee defense is not the best except Jeffrey Simmons. That's all they have. And Cam Ward, that man, pray for that guy. He's just battling for his life pretty much. So that's what Xavier Repsto is going to be starting this game. Also, the receiver from Miami. That's kind of interesting. Also, former Miami boy. But I think Seattle should bounce back also. With their loss against, the 4 interceptions against the Rams, I think they'll bounce back and they'll have great performance. JSN will always have great performance, always. The running game will get back to normal, if anything, with Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. I do believe in that. And maybe Shaheed will have another great game, because he did have a touchdown last week. So maybe they'll figure some things out. We know Tennessee is just getting ready for the draft, if anything, building off next year. Hopefully get a new coach in that building. Maybe Cliff Kingsbury or maybe John Gruden. Who knows? That's my opinion on it, but Seattle should win this game big time. Baltimore versus the Jets. I think Baltimore should win this game in a dominant fashion. No Justin Fields, nothing. I don't even think Garrett Wilson's playing this game. Just Tyler Taylor. I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to blow out this game. Lamar Jackson have a great game. After the game they had against the Browns, came down the wire pretty much and won 16. Pretty much Loop had to carry the team pretty much in that game. Kicking half their points, 23-16 in that game. Half the field goals were in that game pretty much. The offense got to figure themselves out. I know the defense is getting a little better every single week. Kyle Hamilton's carrying this defense right now, looking phenomenal right now in the back end and coming in the box a little bit, helping the team a little bit. So I think this defense is getting there. The offense now got to pick it up, not force turnovers, be calm. Derrick Henry, don't fumble the ball. Derrick Henry had a crazy run also, got down to 1. Bell got to figure some things out. I think they will. Against the Jets, we know the Jets are just getting ready for the April pretty much also. Just rather tank team. Even to the point they benched Justin Fields. I hate that. I think Justin Fields deserves to finish the year out. Because, I know he's been lackluster, but there's some games he looks phenomenal. I don't know. That's my opinion on that. But Baltimore should win this game, especially at home. They're favorite for 13.5, so that's that. Let's talk about the main hit game, Cincinnati versus New England. I do not know I don't think Joe Burrow's playing this game. I think Joe Burrow will play next week. But New England versus Cincinnati. Okay, Joe Flacco maybe have some magic, but I think New England should win this because New England's stretch is so easy, and they're on an 8-game winning streak right now. And I think they're going to go 9 right now, go 10-2, and I think they're going to win this game against Cincinnati. No Jamar Chase also. New England's favorite 7.5 also. I mean, maybe T. Higgins goes off. I don't know. I think Chris Godwin has that lockdown pretty much. This defense has been phenomenal this year under Mike Vrabel, carrying this team pretty much. So, yeah, Drake Mason having a phenomenal year. And then Henderson, lead back right now. I mean, after his great performance against the Jets Thursday night with 3 touchdowns, looking phenomenal by his effort. So, this team, they look solid. Okay, New England, first place in the division. Bills lost another game. Pretty much build your momentum, get a big lead in the division, and build off more AFC wins and beat your easy opponents right now. Because people are coming at you, it's like, oh, easy schedule, oh, it's easy opponents. They're doing their job, beating the easy opponents right now. So beat another easy opponent. It's going to be a tight game. Maybe Joe Flacco's another historic moment, pretty much. Who knows? But I think New England in this game. Okay, Chicago versus Pittsburgh. This game, I don't even know what's going to happen. Okay, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, just know the Bears are dominating this game, okay? If Aaron Rodgers plays this game, I'm taking A-Rod. A-Rod owns the Bears pretty much. I mean, this guy is literally 30 and something, I believe. Let me see. It says it's uncertain still with his injury, okay? Jeff Saturday says he expected to play. He expects Aaron Rodgers to play, but like this guy fractured his hand. Understand? He fractured his not throwing hand, but his opposite hand. And we expect this guy to come back. That would honestly be crazy if he does come back. And I don't even know. And then they got the win over Cincinnati also last week. I just think the Bears win this game if no A-Rod, but if the Steelers have A-Rod, they win this game, okay? Because A-Rod, you know his record. A-Rod is record versus the Bears. That is 25 for 20. 25 for 5. 25 for 5. And he especially owns Chicago at home. Just saying. But Steelers should win this game if they have A-Rod. But the Bears, if they win this game, 8-3, first place in the division, looking phenomenal. But the Steelers lose this game, the Ravens are right there, and the Ravens probably jump them, and the Ravens still going to play the Steelers twice this year. Ravens are trying to build some comeback right now for the division. If they somehow win this division, that would be insanely. I mean, the Steelers just choked like always. I mean, they're going to finish 9-8. We know that, okay? But I don't know. But Chicago, 8-3, first place in the division, beating their easy opponents, having crazy comebacks, having game-winning field goals. Maybe some historic moments in another game. I mean, the ticket prices are $391 because it's the Steelers. They're expecting A-Rod to come. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. It's the most expensive game this week. Enough of that, okay? So, let's talk about probably the game of, like, the week, probably. Kansas City versus the Colts, okay? Deion Jones was questionable earlier this week, but he came back. He's healthy. He's going to play this game. And Kansas City, after losing the games against the Broncos on the road, you're still favored in this game by 3.5. Big percentage right there. And you forget the Colts are 8-2. I don't get that. Okay. I mean, Deion Jones is having a phenomenal career right now. Brees on his career right now, 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I know it's been a little lackluster the past couple of weeks. It's been pretty much the Jonathan Taylor show right now. And, I mean, the defense is looking phenomenal. Latu, DeForest Bunker, and all that those guys. My bad, not DeForest Bunker. My bad. More of the Latu, if anything. But look at these guys right now. And you look at this team. I mean, there's no Pacheco this week also. Worthy's questionable. Their other tackle's questionable for the for the Chiefs. So it's like, do I want to take the Chiefs this week? Because the Chiefs, they got to go 7-0, finish 12-5, and probably first place in the division. That's what the best bet for them, okay? That's the Chiefs. That's the thing. It's the Chiefs. And the Colts are just trying to build some comeback and a little momentum. It's so difficult. And the Chiefs just don't look the same after especially the game against they could have won the game against the Broncos, but they didn't even have a good winning drive. They threw a pick and all that kind of stuff. Travis Kelce went off though, but like, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So, I mean, 22-19 in that game. Kicked the game-winning field goal also over the guys. So, it's just, they got to go on a streak. That's the thing. They got to go on a streak. So I'm going to take the Chiefs this game. I think they'll bounce back, and I think they're going to build momentum and try to come in Dallas and on Thanksgiving. That's going to be a very interesting game, just saying. And then they got to play the Texans, they got to play the Chargers, Tennessee, Broncos again, and end of the year against the Raiders. Maybe they figure it out. I don't know, but I think they're going to build a momentum and they'll get the win over the Colts after 2 games straight losing. I don't think they'll lose 3 straight. I don't think that's going to happen. If they lose 3 straight, 5-6, oh my, this is bad. Bad. But I think Mahomes and those guys will bounce back pretty much, and I think they'll build momentum again. Nothing 12 o'clock slate games pretty much. Let's talk about the 3 o'clock games. Let's hit with the New Orleans versus the Falcons. This is a lackluster show. I mean, this is terrible. No Michael Penix. Michael Penix is out for the year. Drake London's not even playing this game. It's just Bijan and a bunch of random guys. This is a tank battle, maybe. I mean, the Falcons only have their pick in this game. So no one wins. It's just a terrible game. Maybe the Falcons build momentum and pray that Kirk Cousins can lead them on a crazy run. It's just bad football, pretty much. And I don't know. It's just bad football. So if I had to say, give me the Saints. Honestly, the Saints could somehow do it because their defense is decent. Actually, the Falcons, their defense is so meh. And Raheem Mostert, fire that guy. Just fired him. He sucks. I'm sorry. I don't understand it. You had him as an intermittent before, and you brought him back, and you thought he was going to have a crazy comeback. No, this guy's not a coach for you. Just let him go, honestly. Jags versus Cardinals. Brissett, still the quarterback right now, had a career that broke the record for the most completed attempts, 48 attempts, and that man looked phenomenal in his game. Almost tried to have a crazy comeback against the Niners, but, kind of short, 41-22. The defense kind of sucked. Defense has been averaging 40 points on them after getting the win over the Cowboys. Kind of weird. Like, they show for the Cowboys game, and that's it, and they've just been averaging, letting the team score 40 points on them. 88, probably a total of 80 points right now getting scored on them. I don't know that. But it's just like the Jags should win this game, especially after blowing the Chargers out 35-6. And Trevor Lawrence looked really good at the game. Trevor Etienne had a phenomenal game too, and the defense showed up. But this is the Jags; they always somehow choke, like against the Texans with Davis Mills. So I'm like, the Jags are just so confusing. This is such a game they'll lose probably too. But I'm going to take the Jags in this game though, either way. I think the Jags should win this game, get 7-4, try to compete for the division still. Don't fall third place in the division, especially the Texans are coming back on your ass. So, yeah. So, give me the Jags in this game. Now, the Vegas versus Cleveland. I was at the game last week against Cowboys in Vegas. That team, the Raiders, suck. Just saying that. Geno Smith, that man is just not looking the greatest. Not looking the greatest. That's all I gotta say. Not looking phenomenal. And the defense, Max Crosby's just carrying the team pretty much on his back. That's really it. Brock Bowers is trying his best, and Genty looked terrible. Only 7 rushes that game. I don't even know what's going on with this team. I don't. But Shadir's playing, though. I'm starting Shadir on my team pretty much. I'm starting Shadir for my quarterback this week on fantasy. I don't care. Over Deion Jones. I think Shadir Sanders is going to have a great game, win his first NFL game for the Browns, and he's going to be the franchise for the Browns. I'm big on Shadir. I have hope in Shadir. Let this team run it. I think Jared Judy's going to have a phenomenal game. Junkins, he's going to have a phenomenal game too. I think the Browns win this game and build not momentum, but build momentum for next year for Shadir Sanders to build off this team. Hopefully. Maybe Kevin Stefanski actually believes in Shadir Sanders. Or if they bench Dylan Darable and they trade Shadir next year. I just hate how this team looks. And I hate how they're just not giving the weapons to Shadir. And Shadir, they're going to show out this game and prove everyone why you're starting quarterback in this league and you deserve a shot. So, hopefully he bounces and gets the win for this game. Pretty much. I'm going to take Cleveland in this game. So, the Raiders, they need a quarterback. That's all. Philly versus Dallas. Okay. I'm taking my Cowboys, of course. I gotta rep them. I'm taking my Cowboys this game. I think Dak Prescott's gonna have a phenomenal game. He owns, any NFC East team at home, 21-2. 2 losses one against the Eagles and 1 against the Giants early in his career, 2017 and 2016. Okay, I think he dominates this game. I think George Pickens, phenomenal game. CeeDee Lamb, phenomenal game. Philly, we don't even know what offense they're coming on. We know their defense is good. Their offense is so we can have the greatest offense, the shittiest offense. It doesn't matter. Philly is so lackluster, and their chemistry is not looking good. And AJ Brown is just a ticking time bomb, if anything. And Devontae Smith, that just gets a crazy catch sometimes and crazy ball, if anything. But Saquon Barkley doesn't even look good. That's the thing. Saquon Barkley averages 3.5 right now, average per carry right now. It's not even good. So this offense is terrible. Defense, though, Jalen Phillips is looking phenomenal. Jalen Carter's going to play this game. Spitgate pretty much coming back. And Jordan Davis is going to play this game. The thing is, George Pickens is going to be the X Factors game. I think George Pickens and Quentin Williams are going to be the two guys. They were the X Factors last week. They got to be the X Factors again, and they got to be phenomenal this game. And I think if they show up this game, and No Lane Johnson, there's a crazy stat. No Lane Johnson is 1-8. Philadelphia is 1-8 when No Lane Johnson and Jalen Hurts in the Jalen Hurts era. So I think Williams in that defensive line have a career day, and they're going to look phenomenal. Overshow's going to probably come after Jalen Hurts as a spy, because after last time we didn't have a spy against Philadelphia at Philly. We could have won that game, but see, you dropped the ball a couple times. But yeah, I think Dallas should win this game though. I think Dallas is going to have a phenomenal game, bounce back in this game, and look really good. And that's my opinion with that. And I think Dallas is going to look phenomenal in this game. So, yeah. Anyways, Sunday Night Football. Rams versus Tampa Bay. All right. Rams look red hot. They're fair at 7.5 in this game. And hold on. Philly was fair at 3.5. Wow, they're disrespected. Okay. So, Rams are fair at 7.5 in this game. And I think the Rams, it's at LA. Tampa Bay's trying to get some momentum. 6-4 Tampa after losing that game last week against the Bills in a high-scoring game. And the Rams are the best team in the NFC right now at 8-2. I don't know. I'm going to take the Bills. The thing is, the Bucks. If they lose this game, guess who's coming up? I'll talk about the next game after that. I think I'm going to take the Rams. I think Puka and those guys are going to get it done. Matthew Stafford's looking at the MVP right now. Looking really good, his best career. And Devontae Adams, I don't know if he's playing this week. If anything, I think he's questionable. Let me see. He's questionable this week. No, he's playing this game. Okay. No Tutu still. And no Bucky, no Chris Godwin, if anything, this week, too, for the team. So, questionable for Chris Godwin, but out with Bucky again. So, Rashid White is the main back right now for fantasy owners. And Mike's been the leading receiver for this team. And Baker Mayfield only 17 touchdowns with 3 interceptions right now. And Matthew Stafford 27. Dude, he's looking phenomenal. God. This team, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, of course. I think it's just going to be like the Bills game last week. But I think I'm going to take the Rams this game. I think the Rams' offense is a little better than Tampa, and I think Tampa Bay is going to get, that defense is going to put some pressure on Baker, and Baker was going to throw some crazy balls and throw some picks a couple times. So that's the thing. Force turnovers, make Baker make mistakes, and if Baker makes mistakes, the Rams win this game. If they don't, I think this is going to be a shootout game pretty much. So, yeah. Give me the Rams. So I think the Rams are going to be 9-2, and they're the favorite to win the NFC, and they're my favorite to win come out of the NFC this year, if anything. Next game, Niners versus Carolina. Carolina is winning this game. They're going to have to somehow win the coin toss because it's a crazy stat. They are 6-0 when they win the coin toss. When they lose the coin toss, they're 0-5. And guess what? They're 6-5. What the? Wow. How? Bryce Young, he looked phenomenal last week. 3 touchdowns, 300 yards plus. Looked phenomenal. But the week before that, 100 yards. Terrible. Man. Rico's going off. Team looks good at that. But what is the mixture? What's going on? Woohoo. I don't know what Panthers team we're going to see. T-Mac's going to win phenomenal. Had a breakout game, but maybe that's just the Falcons. But the thing is, the Niners, they look phenomenal. Brock Purdy's first game back last week looked great. 41 points on the board. George Kittle went off. Brandon Ayuk doesn't want to play for the team anymore. That's going to look like an outburst right now. Looks like they're done with that era. So, yeah. I mean, CMC's back. Everyone's back, except the defense. The defense is bleh. But I think maybe I'm going to take Carolina. I think I'm going to take Carolina in this game. I think T-Mac and that offense is going to be outperforming against, the Robert Saleh defense, and I think that defense is going to get more injured every single time you see someone get hurt on their defense some way, somehow. So I think another person gets hurt for them. I don't even know, because it's always something for this defense. Anytime I put the TV, I'm like, oh, someone's hurt now. No, that's hurt. He's hurt. It doesn't even stop ever. So I think Bryce Young's having a phenomenal game. They just got to win the coin toss. If they don't win the coin toss, come at me because they're going to be 6-6, or they're going to be 7-5. Who knows? But I think this is definitely wild card applications right now. Both these teams are trying to get a playoff spot, and I think Carolina wins this game on the road. They have the build off. You already got the win over the Cowboys, got the win over the Packers, and you get a win over the Niners. you are building momentum for that wild card spot, and that's coming for them. Maybe they finish year 10-7, they get a wild card spot, or maybe a division spot. Who knows? They still got Tampa Bay twice this year, later this year, back-to-back weeks. So, pretty much, I think Carolina's going to win this game. They're building momentum for the playoff chance. Crazy turnaround. Bryce Young looking phenomenal right now after that great game last week. So, yeah, that is all I have for this week. Thank y'all for joining me for this. Hope you have a great week. Hope you have a great football games and all those kind of stuff. And, yeah, like and subscribe.